Well, first and foremost, I'm unhappy with the fact that some of his team are not allowed in for the proceedings. It's not fair. But as you can see, we're outside the Royal Courts of Justice. Justice question mark. I'm not really happy because I don't think he's been given a fair trial. To be honest, because of his health as well. They've deprived him from basic medical necessities, and they're actually trying to sort of kill him off. Everyone knows this. I always say one thing, and that is that it was never meant to be shown to the public what goes on behind the magician's curtain, the dirty tricks that's kept under their sleeve, and also what goes on behind the curtain as well. This was never meant for us to see. But Julian Assange has made life easier for everyone now, even especially for humanity, to see what goes on behind the curtain. So on that aspect, he has my full support. But one thing about the British legal system, the English legal system, is that they're colluding with the US. You know, they're not looking at human rights, for example. Important questions are not being answered, and they're manipulating things to suit their own agenda. Matter of fact is, Julian Assange is a hero. Everyone knows it. Even the big corporations, the media corporations. And one thing that is very saddening is that they're going for Julian Assange. They're not going for the big media publishers or the corporations that publish information as well. So where are they? They're nowhere to be found. So it's not fair. And also, I believe that more and more supporters come and unite together, we can create a very powerful movement. And that's one thing that the government is scared of. They're not scared of Julian Assange walking out, really. They're scared of him walking out with a powerful movement that can change journalism, investigative journalism, and also freedom of information. So I think that's what they're scared of. But if I were Julian Assange, I would leave Britain, because you're not safe over here, bro. You're not, because they'll come and get you. If you look at what happened to Princess Diana, they killed her off, and many others as well. I'm sorry to say, but it's not a safe land for Julian Assange to be in. He has seen what they've done to him in prison. They're continuing to do so, and it looks like they're after him. Even if he walks out freely from jail, I really, really hope they do leave him alone. But as we all know from past experiences and past events, I don't think so they will leave him alone, because he's a very powerful figure. In fact, he's one of the most powerful people in the last century. So yeah.
Do you believe, like, whatever result happens today, it'll be a massive moment in history?
Well, if it goes Assange's way, then yes, justice has been served, because they have to look at things from every different angle, the lawyers. But if it goes the US's way, it's sad, really. It's sad. If you look at the US's case, it's really weak. I mean, I'm not inside the courtroom, but it seems so that it's really, really weak. We don't know what's going to happen after 6 weeks. But also, one thing I would like to point out is, Stella Morris, please, I'm not a qualified lawyer, but one of my friends actually told me this, that if Julian Assange wins, if he succeeds, make sure a habeas corpus application is filed, so that the judge do look into releasing Julian Assange from the prison, because habeas corpus is to do with body detention. He shouldn't be detained in prison. So yeah, if Julian Assange does succeed, the Julian Assange defense team, they should file an application for habeas corpus immediately. But yeah, I hope it goes Assange's way, because there are many other issues that needs to be addressed. Freedom of information, for example, human rights, for example, his medical condition, for example, publishing information, for example. Publishing is not a crime. It's not. Why is it a crime? It's not. And also, he has exposed what goes on behind the magician's curtain. That it was a circus show we were never meant to see. He has revealed this. He's revealed the entire show, the workings, and also the plans as well. And it looks like the establishment, the governments, and so-called world leaders are really upset, because he has disturbed a very important, well, an important war, a war which was illegal. which cost many lives. So yeah, I hope it goes Assange's way because of the issues I've just outlined.
Do you believe that Assange was only revealing what the government should have told their own people?
The government agenda is not to help the people at all, and we all know that. Aside Assange, you have Daniel Ellsberg, for example, Edward Snowden, Bradley Manning, and other whistleblowers. You had, let's not forget Gary McQuinnan. 10 years ago, he was pardoned by Theresa May, who was at that time was Prime Minister of, she was the Prime Minister of England, and she pardoned Gary McQuinnan. He was a hacker, and she actually put a stop to his extradition to USA. So let's not forget that case as well. That applies to Julian Assange's case as well. Exactly the same thing. It was based on his health grounds. Julian Assange is exactly going to do the same thing as well. So end of the day, you know, the government is, I'm sorry to say, but as we all know, the government is not here to help us. They're only here to help their agenda. So is the Royal Courts of Justice. But again, we don't know what the Royal Courts of Justice have made in the judgment yet. We still have to wait. But let's not forget, Princess Diana's case was held at the Royal Courts of Justice, and Mohammed Al Fayed spent over £1 million. Where did it get him? What justice did he get? Huh? What justice did the Royal Courts of Justice serve him? Nothing. So money doesn't play any part at all. It's to do with justice, and let's see what let's see the judgment. But we'll have to wait and see. But I do believe one thing, and that is that it's up to individuals like us who will become tomorrow's information publishers, who will become whistleblowers, who will do what's the right thing for humanity, and that's telling the truth. And one thing I would like to also point out is this quote by George Orwell. My entire answer is more or less based on what George Orwell has said, and this is really, really true. We've got to fight for the truth, and that's what Julian Assange is doing right now. It's not about exposing crimes, it's about exposing the truth, and we have to fight for the truth. That's why we're all here, and that's the reason why.
How do you feel about mainstream media coverage on the Julian Assange story?
Sorry, was that?
How do you feel about the mainstream media coverage of...
Well, again, one thing you have to understand is mainstream media is state-owned. They work for the government. And as we all know, they're not here. So if you look around, I see RT, but hey, they're with us. They're the people's media. But if you look at other media corporations, they're nowhere to be found. Yes, they were making money off Julian Assange's story, weren't they? And pulling their fucking pockets with dollar notes. That was fine, oh yeah. When it came to storytelling, story selling, they were at the front lines. But when Julian's in court, nowhere to be found. So what mainstream media? You mean mainstream media that works for the government? Oh, that mainstream media, right. That have a different narrative. Right. Again, George Orwell. It has to be George Orwell. It has to be George Orwell. So yeah, the mainstream media is not doing a good job because they're biased, number one, as we all know. And number two, their agenda is only to sell the story and make money. They are not here to support Julian Assange. They don't care about Julian Assange. Yeah, they cared when the story initially broke out because they made them a lot of money. Hey, but it didn't make Julian Assange a billionaire, did it? It didn't fill Julian Assange's pockets with money. No, it didn't at all. But he did one thing for humanity. And there is no journalist, no media corporation has ever done what Julian Assange has done. And that is to tell the truth at a wide scale. He has done the job of a media corporation, and he's also done the job of an investigative journalist. What the media should be doing in the first place. Julian Assange has done it expertly.